Hey everybody, Jason Burmis here. And, seeing that Assange was a big issue a couple weeks ago, and obviously this coronavirus is a story across the board, whether you take a financial angle with the stock markets or the outbreak of cases that are now starting to be admitted from the press conferences. These are all big stories. So I've missed some stuff. And there's been a lot of stuff, especially in the Epstein case, that just continues to shove the fact that the cover up crew is in full effect on this one. All the way across the board, full effect. This is the cover up crew. Now, just like I didn't expect to see Weinstein go to jail, and right now that's kind of being hyped up, right? Have you noticed that? They're saying, well, Weinstein, we're worried about an Epstein-like event. That's odd. And I wonder why. Is he ready to sing? Are there too many people connected to him as well? He didn't think he was going to prison, and he just got burned? Well, I got to tell you here. Excuse me. Jackie Spears questions to DOJ on Epstein raises eyebrows in House Intel Committee. Now, this is a closed hearing. So this, again, encourages me and says, you know what, some people are not letting this die, and they are going to ask relevant questions. And in this closed-door hearing, what has she asked? If Epstein ever worked as an FBI asset. Okay? Let's just read it because it's very, very short. In closed-door briefing, to members of Congress about government surveillance, a senior Justice Department official was asked a surprising question. The question came when intelligence and national security officials gathered earlier this week to brief members on the House Intelligence Committee on the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, FISA, a law with some authorities that will expire in several weeks, as they should. Let's get rid of them. Jackie Spear, a California Democrat, prefaced her question by saying it was a bit off topic. According to two sources with knowledge of the briefing, Spear then asked John Demers, the Assistant Attorney General of National Security Division of the Justice Department, whether Jeffrey Epstein had worked as an undercover FBI asset. Then she pressed him on whether he had any personal knowledge of Epstein, a convicted pedophile who died in jail last August awaiting trial, working with the FBI. Pretty interesting. Of course, Demers responded that he worked for the Justice Department, not the FBI, and that he had no knowledge of Epstein doing such work. The question raised eyebrows as it appeared to be based on a theory that law enforcement officials may have turned a blind eye to a serial rapist because he helped them gather information. And of course, we have that document with Robert Mueller's name on it, and that's probably what's being referred to here. And we also have, of course, Vicky Ward, who was said that he belonged to intelligence. And remember, she also brought up the Khashoggi connection. And we know that Khashoggi was this big arms dealer during Iran-Contra, where the network was never unraveled. We report on that regularly. We just did that Narcos story where Narcos Mexico, again, it looks like the main character in that, I haven't watched it because it's just too much fiction for me. I tried to watch, I couldn't even get through the original Narcos. It was too much. It's too glamorized and too unreal and too without the strings of intelligence actually pulling what was that operation, because that's what it was. But it looks like he was set up by a CIA and DEA agent, and that's how he was taken out. He did not die a nice death. Okay? Brutal. Stuff I would never want to get involved in. And remember, Acosta was asked this question, and he couldn't answer it, about him being an intelligence asset. And then right after that press conference, he does a press conference with Trump where he resigns. And that's how the cover-up crew works. They don't want these people to be pressed in public by mainstream journalists that don't know the fix is in, right? Or that are actually trying to do their job like they have at the Miami Herald. And I give the Daily Beast credit on this story. They go hard on this story, okay? So when they ask that, they want to bring somebody in who has no knowledge of it. And we're going to get to that. And that's how they're trying to reform the Epstein didn't kill himself in prison line, with Bill Barr heading up the cleanup crew. He's not your friend, folks. I keep trying to tell you that. All right? He's not your friend. So, this is a very interesting article, and we need to talk about it because it talks about whether or not Nicholas Tartiglione, who they're saying, this is the cellmate of Epstein that you either believe helped save Epstein's life when he tried to kill himself or actually was trying to kill Epstein. And now they showed those jacked pictures of him, or, those big guy pics. Well, apparently, from what they're saying, he doesn't look like that, 4 years on in prison. Sometimes you don't get bigger. But this article, in a nutshell, talks about how crazy it is that there are no videotapes, and they said they lost them and that they didn't have them, and they're taking unprecedented actions. It's never, by the way, they found a loaded gun in the jail and a bunch of other stuff, okay? I'm not kidding. They recently found a loaded gun. That's now been confirmed. They say that it was a rumor in here, but it gets confirmed, okay? So the weird thing is that, of course, Tartiglione says he didn't do this, and his lawyers want to get this footage because they say it's going to prove his innocence, right? But you don't know what kind of play that is. And apparently the judge is about to rule whether or not Tartiglione can even be represented by his current lawyers. All right? And here's where it gets even weirder. Tartiglione, as I've reported before, had this mini cell phone that was smuggled in prior to Epstein getting there, that they found allegedly before Epstein came in, I think. And they're saying that forensically they went through it and there was some conversations on it, but none of them pertain to this. This is a hardcore article. I give this person credit for putting out all the facts. And once again, the Miami Herald is doing it. Check this out. In fact, the judge in January appointed a person to serve as a firewall, receiving sensitive information from the defense and prosecutors that won't be shared with either side of the attorneys. That's how managed this is. Carras in January described the proceedings as unprecedented and as being uncharted territory. He began Wednesday afternoon's open proceedings in a similar fashion. But no. We're going to get the truth about what happened. The deep state's going to get taken down. Dershowitz, he was a bad guy, now he's a good guy. He's a bad guy, he's a good guy. He's a good guy, he's a bad guy. Come on. All right, so let's continue on to show you how the cover-up is continuing. We've been talking about these documents and how the Miami Herald is trying to get those extra 10,000 pages unsealed. Guess what? The judge is denying it. All right? They're leaving a ton of the records under seal, and we don't know if and when we'll ever see these things. They didn't like it when Glenn Dubin's name came out and George Mitchell and others. Okay? That's the reality of this thing. Okay? So, as that goes on, there's a little bit of good news. The Attorney General in the Virgin Islands is going to lift some of the liens on Epstein's estate so they can start putting it to the crimes victims' rights funds, right? All the victims' funds. We'll see how much that goes out because, again, he hid so much. We don't really know his assets. I don't know if I put I don't think I did. I don't think I put the McClatchy report on here because I didn't trust it. The McClatchy report has a bunch of his assets, but not nearly as many as he probably had hidden. So continuing on this big-time Epstein update, thumbs it up, subscribe, share, guys. We do deep dives. This isn't really a deep dive. It's an overview of a lot of the things that have been going on. And, the Epstein didn't kill himself meme is continuing. You can see it here at the Torch Lounge where they have suicide shots for half off. Yuck, yuck, yuck. And then on this backwards sign at Viewpoint that says Epstein didn't kill himself. So now let's get on to two different parts of the cover-up crew. Let's start with the prison system. Remember, this is all going to be, he was able to kill himself. The first person in MCC, I think, in 13 years, as was revealed by the woman who just got fired or stepped down or whatever. Let's say Barr asked her to step down. She stepped down. Okay? First suicide in that prison in how long? 14 years. Clearly a corrupt prison, by the way. But that was never highlighted. It was all about, how are we going to fix the system? And that's how you fix the system. You bring a new guy in. Let's see, what's this guy's name? His name is Michael Carvajal. And Kathy Hawk Sawyer's the one that, basically shilled out in the hearings and said, boy, we got to fix the system. I know this looks bad. Did exactly what Barr wanted her to do. 100%. 100% deep state approved, baby. Just like this is 100% deep state approved, because what I'm going to show you should slap everybody in the face. Maria Farmer, who is the first person to go on the record that Epstein had sexually assaulted her, went to the New York and the FBI in 1996. Her younger sister, when she was not of age, was molested by Epstein. She was held at Les Wexner's mansion. This is not something she publicized, okay? But the records show she did this, and it was completely ignored. And that same woman was in one of my videos, chats. It's her. You can go check it out. It was a piece on Ghislaine Maxwell where she talked about Les Wexner being the head of the snake. Because it's not just about having all these beauty companies and modeling agencies and lines. That's part of it, because you get to control a lot of people. That's part of the blackmail op. It's probably part of the drug running op, let's be honest. We have the Air America stuff. But it's also about what? Foreign and national policy. Okay? The Wexner Foundation is one of these let's dominate the Middle East on behalf of Israel groups. 100%. 100%, baby. But don't you worry. The establishment media is going to tell you. The Associated Press, guess what they're... Thank you, Associated Press. Epstein's dealing at the Wexner Foundation were minimal. No. That woman I told you about, Maria Farmer, in my chat, she said he was the head of the snake. The head of the snake. You decide. I mean, I think Epstein was extremely intelligent, but to think that he was his own boss all of the time, I don't think so. I don't think that's what the evidence shows. I think you're looking at somebody who, was an asset for the Mossad, the military-industrial complex, facilitating these arms deals, obviously worked with the FBI as well. These are real things. And how many of these agencies and whatever you want to call it, double or triple cross, I don't know. But it can be clear that right now this information continues to be managed and the cover-up crew, folks, is in full effect. Guys, I'm a documentary filmmaker. You can check out all my movies, especially on that Predator class and that network, An Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. Also, Shade the Motion Picture, Fabled Enemies, and Loose Change Final Cut right now. Shade especially relevant at this moment in time. So you go check out Shade the Motion Picture. I can't recommend it enough. It's free right now. Thumbs this video up, subscribe, and share. I'd love to get to 40,000. It'd be great, but, I've lost subscribers in the last 2 months. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe people hate my delivery. Maybe they're sick of my voice. Maybe they don't like my information. But I need you guys to share this on social media, on your blogs, in email chains, whatever it takes. I really do feel like my video on what happened to those families in Washington is more than heartbreaking, and it's a big wake-up call for people. So please go check that out. I'm also doing at least one exclusive release, like this Owen Schroyer speech yesterday, 5 days a week over on Rockfin. $9.99 a month not only gets you all this material, which is bonus material, and by the way, you can join for free, and I make some of that, bonus material available for free later, and follow me, which is awesome. Just create a Rockfin account. But if you're going to spend the $9.99, just endorse Jason Burmis, and then you get everybody else's content, from John Fitch to Chael Sonnen to Ben Askren to Graham Elwood, Ron Placone, Nico House, and the Convo Couch. And folks, $5, $10, $15, it means the world to me. We're getting up there. I'd love to get it to 500 by today. I'm not going to lie. I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. I know there's a craziness in the world right now. And I'm not trying to panic anybody, but you can see the market. I mean, after today, I'm going to do the coronavirus AMA, and you guys can come check that out and join, and you can tell me what you think and what evidence is relevant and what you think is overhyped or underhyped. So we're going to do the coronavirus AMA later tonight. I'm also on Angelo John Gage's show live, I think, or I think it's live. At 6:30. So he's going to have me on at 6:30 on his Reality Engaged program. You can follow him over on Twitter. I had him on earlier in the week. So 6:30 p.m. in a couple hours, I'm going to be doing that. I'll see you on the flip, guys. Maybe we'll do that coronavirus one a little bit sooner. We'll see. Maybe at 5 or 5:30. Not sure. Peace.